Hello, and welcome to Grand Prix Yogyakarta coverage for the MSEM format. I'm Caillou, and today I'm going to be commentating a round one match between cftsoc on green white Enchantress versus Edward, who is on MonoBlack Villainy. So the one problem here is cftsoc's deck is a combo deck that is abundantly clear from him having Requiem for the Fallen and Tenacious Brawler, neither of which are cards you play in a fair deck, but are generally meant to be played as a loop. He also has Writing Wonders, which is the card of choice if you're planning to go infinite with enchantment ETB triggers. However, I'm not quite sure how his deck does go infinite, and he's been rather reticent with that information so far. So assuming that Edward also is similarly in the dark, that might play into cftsoc advantage with Edward not quite knowing what to hit with his hand attack. Edward also, as a mono-black deck, hand attack is the only interaction that Edward really has. Edward does have edicts, but no point and click removal. And generally it appears that edicts do very little against cftsoc's combo. Because Tenacious Brawler wants to die anyways. You're casting it for X equals 0. And then the Idyllic Tutor on a creature, which is a Keeper of Holy Lands. Once you get the ETB, presumably you do not care about it anymore. But cftsoc also does have a bunch of ramp. I think he has, 10 pieces of 1-mana ramp. And Edward is currently the Exit on Dryad of the Grove is very good, because otherwise cftsoc would have had 4 mana turn 2. But Chigao is not the turn 2 play that you really want to be making versus a deck like cftsoc's. So you look at it, there's Dryad of the Grove, 4 Primal, 4 Prismatic. So actually 11 pieces of 1-mana ramp, and then another piece of 2-mana ramp. So let's see. Hello, is that you, Kevin?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's see. So what is the matchup we've got here?
It's cftsoc on Enchantress versus Edward on Warden Black, or Warden Villainy.
Okay, I'm just gonna go.
So cftsoc is undoubtedly a combo list. We don't know how he combos off, but he's got Elder's Wisdom on the battlefield, which we assume that he needs Tenacious Brawler, Writing Wonders, and Requiem for the Fallen at some point. Also, Elder's Wisdom untapping lands. Forgot that's super relevant with cftsoc having 8 land auras. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 8.
And right now, Edward managed to exit Dryad of the Grove that would have put cftsoc at 4 mana on turn 2. But other than that, playing Villainy turn 3. But so far, Edward's biggest form of interaction is basically hand attack. Because once cftsoc resolves anything, Edward can't do anything about it. So not having any hand attack here is really brutal for Edward. And cftsoc seems reasonably close to assembling whatever combo it is his deck does.
So he's got land auras, he just needs Contra. Yeah, he just needs the 2 creatures and then something to do.
Mm-hmm. And Edward's deck is meant to prey on fair decks to an extent, where it's the Wardens and Villainies give Edward a fast clock and good board control. But versus unfair decks, only having hand attack and not having good instant speed interaction, Exit does good work versus the Adherent Survivor and Banned Land Effect decks we see here in this GP. But versus this type of deck, which is mostly non-creature permanents, it's not as useful.
Did you say Exeunt is good against a Deer and Survivor?
I mean, assuming they're going for the kill, which is like devouring. If they do devouring flame on one, and then 2 Adherent Survivors turn 2, and not some other sequence, and that is a piece of hand attack, revealing Wayfarers, and Contra of Old Magic. Contra of Old Magic is a really good hit here, but he won't be able to get it because it's a Duress. He still gets a shock trigger. Oh, what's interesting here? Well, okay, cftsoc isn't going to press it, but I believe the shock trigger is supposed to resolve before the card resolves. So technically, if cftsoc wanted to rule shark there, he could say that since Edward resolved the Duress, he couldn't get the trigger. It would just be a missed trigger. So Edward basically needs stolen secrets. Him keeping up 2 black either means he doesn't have anything else, which I doubt, or he has Memento Mori right here. Memento Mori or Exit.
Yeah, that's what. Or Faithful Journey for next turn. But yeah,
that is a good
Memento Mori is actually good here.
Oh, why did? Oh, Elder's Wisdom makes Artie study free. Oh, that's so powerful. So it seems like he can kind of storm off here. Like, not really storm off, but like do something close enough to storming off. And Forest, he hasn't played a land return, so he can play Forest, immediately play Slackfield Workgate, and then net 2 mana off of that.
Well, no, he can't shuffle. Wait, what? Why is he running Sigil of Radiance in this deck?
Sigil of Radiance was like a main board anti-grave deck meta call, and it kind of worked out given that Adherent Survivor decks were like very plenty. Because cftsoc deck has like a bunch of like tutors.
But it's very bad.
Huh? Okay, so cftsoc is not yet playing, or actually his command got shuffled, so we don't know what's at the top of his. So he plays Slackfield Workgate, nets 2 mana off of that. So what's on top of his command now? I'll ask him.
So, yeah, just like ask him to DM like. So I guess just looking over this.
Okay, Sigil, Elder's Wisdom, Forest, Wayfarers.
Or actually, no, I guess.
So Sigil will net him another mana.
Yeah, Sigil isn't too bad since he can just bounce it, but not the best. And then, well, actually,
now he plays Elder's Wisdom, and now everything nets a bunch of mana. And then he just plays Forest, so he doesn't have to care about anything. I think once he does that, like, does he just Slackfield Workgate for his entire deck? Like Slackfield Workgate, Arties, and then just tries to go off with Arties.
Yeah, he can bounce Arties. Yeah, I did not do that.
Because all he's got left is lands, in his Arties.
Did Lackey just crash for you?
Lackey's still up. I think it's a problem on your side. I don't know why he is putting counters on his Ox.
From Slackfield Work. It makes it token.
Is he creating more? Okay. I guess that's that's supposed to be. That's Slackfield itself, and then Elder's Wisdom. Okay, so he can bounce Workgate and replay it for 5 mana. Every cast nets him 6 mana. So what's the plan now? You're just gonna. I think you just bounce Arties infinitely. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, you just infinitely bounce Arties, and actually maybe not, because if you end up with the Contra stuck in like some lands, then yeah.
It's still okay. It's still okay if it's stuck between lands, because then you just like wait another turn. But otherwise,
Yeah,
you
I
can just
guess
play
so.
out your entire deck. And if you hit writing
Yeah.
wonders at any point, you just win.
Oh, yeah.
And this is powerful. This is turn 4 on the play, and he probably could have gotten this earlier if Edward hadn't Dryad of the killed cftsoc Dryad of the Grove.
Looks like we're seeing two different really potent combos here.
Edward is finally catching on to what we've been talking about. Yeah, looping Arties. So, what do you mean archiving the archive? What is he talking about? Yeah, I don't get what he's talking about with archiving the archive. Is he thinking that this is Rahit's study?
Oh God, no!
Yeah,
Please don't tell me that actual
so he has to play it out, and
non-deterministic
Writing
combo
Wonders
here.
has to be not stuck between.
Oh God, we have horseman combo. That's,
Okay, so cftsoc accidentally moved his entire library to his hidden zone.
uh,
Okay, so I think we're gonna have a judge call here. Oh my God! cftsoc.
yeah.
This is why you go. This is why you play your decks before you submit them. This is okay. This is actually really cool. But oh my God. So our resident head judge Wendy is not currently online. The other judge Pip is they said they were at F&M. So you might have to resolve this judgeless, which would not be a good situation.
Already. You know, dear, I was thinking I'd be joining the commentary for a nice, simple game.
Yeah, I think you're kind of like the opposite of whatever Lucky Charm is. You're like a monkey's paw, a curse. Like before we had Pikachu's game, which was the Landstorm, and now we're having this.
Where he messed up the Mystic Arts. Where he that was the where he sided out.
Yeah, sided out one of his win cons. So Mystic Arts wasn't actually a deterministic kill. And it's also the set that went on for 2 hours and had to be split up into 2 separate sessions.
Yeah, or oh God, what was it? The one you ended up commenting on that had like an hour. It was like me versus Warden, I think, on like a 2-hour game.
I don't remember that. I think that one I've probably blotted out from my mind entirely.
Yeah, it was like a 2-hour total game. Oh God. It was like, you guys are still going? It's like, yeah, we're on game 1. Because it was like a grindy, like, control deck. Versus, I think this was the odds-on Enchantress list I didn't take.
Oh yeah. That I didn't record that. I just like jumped in and like I saw for one moment and I'm like, oh yeah, this is still going.
It just kept going because.
Speaking of things that keep on going and are not ending, this might be one of those. They might have to cut it off because none of our judges are online.
Yeah, like if this was just like a skirmish or casual, we might say reset, but this is. We're trying to judge this at the comp party. Welcome.
So this is
Welcome
game
back.
2. I heard Edward scooped game 1.
Yeah, Edward scooped game 1, but it looks like he might take this one because. So. Edward was able to turn 1 duress wonders, turn 2. Let me pull it up. Turn 2, he was able to seal the tomb on writing wonders, so I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah,
So
does
would
cftsoc even have a win con at that point?
well,
I
I
think
guess
make infinite ox. Oh, actually, he can make an infinite mana tenacious brawler. Wait,
yeah,
that's not
he
how that
can
works.
like
That is not how that
he
works.
can make
No, that is how that works. You can make an infinite mana tenacious brawler. So
yeah. Uh, Aside from that, like he doesn't have a reflect on serenity.
mm-hmm.
Do you bring in anything from the sideboard that might be able to do something? I'm not like yeah, but cftsoc is running a lot of hard removal and like exeunt, so even if he is able to like that might not kill him.
Mm-hmm. Elder's Wisdom. Okay. And does he have the Sheffield Workgate? Let's see. He tapped his Resplendent Substance. No, Tenacious Brawler. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean like it only does just kill you in a one game. Anyway, and how when there's this
Oh God. Okay. Another. It's Landstorm in
oh
disguise, Kevin. It's just
oh
Landstorm. Untapping lands with Landors on them. It's Landstorm.
oh god. Yeah, this is alright.
So now cftsoc can conceivably just storm out here.
Well, he can storm out, but he can't really win that. No, yeah, like I don't see how he wins this tournament issue.
He
And
can win this turn. He will just have to create an infinitely large Tenacious Brawler. And he can create infinite numbers of Oxen. So does Edward have any single target removal?
uh,
He doesn't actually. Nowhere in his 75 does he have unconditional single target removal. So if cftsoc creates an infinitely large Tenacious Brawler and also infinite numbers of Oxen, Edward just loses.
maybe we could check Tenacious Brawler. So Tenacious Brawler does not have trample, so he can conceivably get, like chain like Warden as jump blockers while playing Villainy.
That is
It
a
just kind of
conceivable line.
don't.
He would need like to get insanely lucky draws, but it is a conceivable line.
I don't know, like he has at least a turn here to block with before. We'll have to see how it works. But it's rough, but I don't think he's white.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah. Or, wait, did he just.
Here come the RD loops.
Alright. Wait, remind me what happened when Study leaves the battlefield. What happened to the cards?
So when a study leaves the battlefield, the cards remain in an extra library. It's just that you don't have the effect on the study. So cftsoc can no longer play cards from the top of his other library. Like
but can he still draw them?
He can still draw them.
Oh, okay. I thought they were exiled forever.
Nope, they just function as a second library. Study is a weird mechanic. It's lovely flavor and it does some cool stuff, but it's weird as all hell.
Yeah. And you don't really.
There's Brawler. There's Brawler. Wait, he doesn't have a second Elder's Wisdom, so I don't think he can go infinite here, right? He needs a second Elder's Wisdom.
No. Yeah, no. That's the. So, besides already studying.
Oh wait, no. So what he actually can do here is he can He can infinitely.
Yeah,
No, wait, he has Slapfield Work Gate, right? So he can. Can he not infinitely bounce it? I think he can.
I think he's well. No, wait. He's four, making 4 mana every untap. So,
And it costs 1 mana to play it. So he needs. Okay, actually no. He needs to have. Um, he needs to have be able to net to be able to get 5 mana each untap, and then net 6 or like get 6 mana so he can net a mana each time. And that's how he goes infinite. So he still needs another Elder's Wisdom. Oh wait, he played Keeper of Holy Lands. He's tutoring another Elder's Wisdom. Duh. Okay.
all right.
Here we go. Is this turn 4?
Yeah.
This is a powerful. It's right within the confines of what we want our format to be, which is a turn 4 format. But it's a very powerful combo. I think.
And he did get disrupted.
Yeah, I almost feel like he doesn't need to be running. Like I don't know, like Requiem for the Fallen, Tenacious Brawler. Maybe there's some other like sub combo we're not seeing, but I almost feel like those cards are like not good. Like they're like bad cards, and like you could cut them for a tighter enchantment package. You know what I mean?
Well, how else would you combo if you cut the brawlers?
Huh? Elder's Wisdom plus Slapfield is like a good enough plus Arties is a good enough combo already.
Good point. Yeah. That does just general, but plus, yeah, I guess with like enchantment.
And like this is definitely like a deck where you could just like play general good stuff cards. Like unironically, I think this could be like a Mercacords deck.
Also, like he doesn't have any legend. He has so many legends. No legend anything, and yet they what's up. Seems like a shame. Or I guess maybe because he's leaning so heavy on parties, he just maximized permanent count. But I don't know, being able to just grab anything. Tough.
And if he had something to like buff, like if he had like even like 1+1+1 thing for these oxen,
Oh yeah, it's just like a single anthem.
like +1+1 in haste. There's got to be something in this format that gives that, right?
Yeah, like our heroic reinforcements are trying the whole just an overrun.
Oh, Crossroads Bard. So he did bring in the Crossroads Bard. That's interesting.
That's the Hexproof Enchantress.
Hexproof Enchantress. I didn't even know that he would need to side anything out, honestly.
I think. Wait, is Harsh Preparedness in the main or the side?
Harsh Unpreparedness is in the side.
I would have brought that in.
Okay, I guess Harsh Unpreparedness does kill Villainy and everything except Warden in Edward's deck. But yeah, I'm not sure about Crossroads Bard. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just thinking that.
Oh my god, he stacked 3 Elder's Wisdoms. This is dumb. This is so dumb.
Actually, maybe he was expecting it to be a bit grindier. That's why he brought it in, or yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like you already have Artie, so I'm not sure you need another thing to prove.
Okay, so he really just needs to hit that. He just needs to hit Tenacious Brawler. That's really all there is to it. Harsh Unpreparedness is fine because now he can just take out. I guess taking out Performer of Ambition is fine here. Yeah. And just play Requiem, and then play Keeper to tutor up for Tenacious Brawler.
Wait. Remind me, does he still. Does Edward still have Forgotten his Warden?
Forgotten what?
Forgotten Haunt?
He does not. He took it out because it wasn't very good, as far as I remember. Wait, no, he has 2 Forgotten Haunt. Interesting.
That okay, if he can get a Forgotten Haunt, he might be able to just. If he has Forgotten Haunt in play, that's not a sorcery skill.
So I'd block and
Yeah.
block instant speed, create another token.
Yeah, block. Sack the one that's blocking. You have an infinite. You have basically infinite blockers to block anything while you find what you need. So,
Also, what is cftsoc doing? I don't get it. Tenacious Brawler is right there.
Maybe he just wants to flex.
I think I'm having a hard time keeping track. But he said cftsoc is saying, okay, we got there. I don't know why Crossroad Bard is the card that would make him say that, but okay.
And is this where he just pulls out the Agent Portal and tries to lab?
Does he have a Lab Maniac in this combo of this deck?
No, he doesn't. Just.
So yeah, so what is I am confusion? Edward is like, so what is killing me? Because these Oxen are not very deadly. I think it has to be Tenacious Brawler, right?
Yeah.
I can't see any other win con in the 75.
Yeah, I guess this is what.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna cast. Oh wait, oh yeah, he has 3 of them. That makes blocking a little bit harder.
Yeah, that he can still chain 2 of them. Yeah, he can still chain 2. 2 with 2 Forgotten Haunts, and then just a bunch of Wardens. So it's not.
Three. But how does how does Edward get 2 blockers here? He does not have the mana to cast 2 blockers, and he needs 2 blockers.
Yeah.
So I think Edward just loses here.
Yep. Yeah, actually, yeah, this is probably just going to be game.
Why are you drawing so many cards, cftsoc? What are you doing?
Well, wait, he has the crossroad.
Yeah, but then is he not just going to kill himself next turn? The brawlers don't have haste.
Oh my god, is he about to goose himself here?
What are you doing? Oh no, wait. Never mind. What am I talking about? He has his other libraries. He has 4 cards in his command zone, which are from a previous RDs.
So he can make just a bunch of. Actually, yeah. What is the typical way to do that for when you have a bunch of extra libraries? So you put 1 in the command zone, 1 in the hidden.
I usually I start with hidden, then command, and if I don't have any cards in my exiled, I've had to put 1 in my exiled before. So yeah, I'm like, let me look at Edward's list and see if he has any outs here. Okay.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, if Seal the Tomb searched the battlefield, then he could, but it doesn't search the battlefield.
Yeah, what he needs is what is it? Banish?
Yeah, Banish would be amazing right here.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised he hasn't put in a Banish or 2. That seems great.
Not having hard removal seems like a bad idea. And if he had infinite mana, he could wave of DK for infinite mana, but he doesn't have infinite mana, so.
Yeah, but with his infinite bigger, he's.
And that's game. That's it. So good games to cftsoc and Edward. cftsoc wins 2-0.
Oh god, that means I'm probably gonna have to face him in the next round. Assuming no one else twos up 2-0s. Oh yeah, anyone made them watch it.
Let's see. But yeah, wow. Okay, that's a fairly insane combo that I just missed. Like, I couldn't put it together until I saw it in action. And it seems like reasonably consistent too, because
Yeah, you have all the tutors, all the draw.
mm-hmm.
He's lacking on interaction there. But otherwise,
He has harsh unpreparedness out of the side. That's really like, and I guess Sigil kind of counts as interaction main. Okay, hello cftsoc, and congrats on the win. And Edward is here too. So hi guys. So I guess the first thing to ask you guys is like, each of you, what are your thoughts on your decks as a vacuum going into this GP, and then specifically in this matchup, what were you looking for, or what thoughts did you have before playing out the match?
I was screwed because I can't deal with enchantments.
Yeah, you have hand attack.
That's really what it comes down
to.
Yeah, if I got the duresses, which I think I drew like 2 throughout the matchup, I was potentially all right, and I did once. But it really wasn't enough. I don't think that unless I drew a hand that was just 4 duresses and 2 seal the tombs, that I was going to have any hope in hell of winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Just generally, I've won versus enchantment decks occasionally, but I really don't think a combo enchantment deck, because those are neither things that my deck can deal with combos and can deal with enchantments both kind of well with the right cards. Both of them, I don't know. It made a matchup that I just really couldn't fight through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like cftsoc enchantments are like cheap enough and redundant enough that even if you like remove one, he'll just be like, okay, I have another.
Because the 2 win conditions that I believe were in his deck was Writing Words and the Tenacious Brawlers.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been another one that I missed, but I think those were the 2 major ones.
Yeah, you could also probably like take out hitting Writing Wonders, that's the big win con. But you could probably also like take out even not even Tenacious Brawler, but then like once you take out Writing Wonders, you can also probably safely take out like one of his other like the Untapper, whose name I'm forgetting right now. Like stuff
Elder's
like that.
Wisdom.
Exactly, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I think when I used the duress, I saw that I couldn't, because I knew I was going to turn 1 duress, turn 2 seal the tomb, and try to get rid of. I was planning on hitting Writing Words, obviously, if I saw it, which I did. But I think at the end of the day, I didn't see it, because if I had, I would have had to take it. But whatever the Untapper is, either that or Artie's Study.
Mm-hmm.
If I had taken those were really the only chance I had of actually shutting down his deck.
Yeah, but I think Writing Wonders, yeah, it definitely was the best call there, because it's his best win con. It's like one of his only like good non-combo win cons. So.
Also, the thing was, the only other card that I really saw in there was of worth taking was the 3 mana exile something for 3 or less.
Oh. So I
mean, I could have taken that.
Just like top deck into like the combo. Oh, you had Artie's? Okay.
I didn't see Artie's. Huh. Well, clearly I screwed up on the play there.
I don't know. I think taking Wonders is way better than taking Artie's, not gonna lie.
If he hadn't gotten the combo, taking Wonders was the better choice. But he did assemble it, so Artie's... Because in his hand, I don't think I saw any way for him to assemble the combo, so I went, okay, I'll take the words, and that way, even if he plays it out, he can.
Mm-hmm.
It's also true.
I mean, sure.
There was a lot. I feel like I did misplay on a couple of times.
Interact versus Writing Wonders, and like you can kind of just, if you have Writing Wonders, unless like Edward has like a faster clock, you're just like, okay, I have Wonders, and I'm just gonna individually slowly play enchantments, or I'll just Slaffield loop Slaffield itself, and then just slowly win.
Yeah. This is, I feel like, just another reason that shows that I really should probably make this deck 2-color at some point.
Well,
Because
I was thinking,
Okay, you know what you should do? Be fashionable and make white-black. No one has made white-black Villainy yet. Green-black, been there, done that. Red-black, so passe. Blue-black, if you want a GP, you'll be a poser if you try to play it now. White-black, that's unexplored territory, baby. And it has Enchantress removal.
excuse me, I sent you a white-black Villainy
That's
deck
not a white
the
black
other
villain.
day.
That's a white black Enchantress list in denial. That's pretending to be a villainy list.
It has Villainy, so it's a Villainy list.
It was. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I should just go red-black and get screwed by enchantments extra hard, and also the concept of guiding light.
Yes, sounds like a plan.
I'm actually surprised there wasn't guiding light in the deck list, because the second I saw, I looked up the deck list beforehand, and the second I saw Enchantress, I immediately, my mind jumped, okay, well, how am I going to fight through a bunch of guiding lights, a bunch of mercantile accords? Because typically, anytime I go up against Enchantress deck, at least one of those comes down, and it's always a pain.
Mm-hmm. I'm low-key surprised by or not surprised, but I think like the inclusion of like Brawler and Requiem for the Fallen as like, I guess it's like it is basically like a 2-card tutor, and then like Brawler does end up being like an extra win con, but I almost feel like the deck could just run like generically good cards in there and still be just as good. Like generically good white green enchantments.
Obviously,
I mean, because it does have the
I didn't
potential
build
for, like,
deck.
the
I feel like
turn 3 mercantile accords.
I mean, two color reliably can usually hit with all the mana fixing that runs around in this format, especially in this deck. There's a lot of ways to add green, add white,
I hope you
untap
mean
lands.
in this deck and not in general, cftsoc. Because if you mean in general, we're
This
gonna have
deck.
to throw some hands.
In this deck specifically, there's a lot of ways to fix it so that you can get triple white on time. But I don't know. I think at least guiding light. I was surprised there wasn't like a one of in the sideboard, because it's pretty easy to find in the deck with
Yeah, and it just like
Keeper of Holy Lands tutoring it up, or
Storm landing guiding light just wins you the game. Versus
there's a lot of decks that guiding light. At worst, it's decent against.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if it's just on the sideboard, it's never like you're relying on it. You know.
Hey, what do you
Never
mean
something that you're gonna draw.
Like, sure, your combo wins the game, but then like, what else do you have?
I feel like you meant like landing. I guess there's a decent number of cards that can kill Swarm, but I don't think landing anything.
I guess
me dropping a Warden of Dead
doesn't help against Tyranid Pyromancer, but it helps against like the infused plan of just like, I'm gonna exile a bunch of stuff and then unleash the dragon you. Also, wow, was Unleash the Dragon nerfed to 1 red? That's amusing. Okay, fine. Okay, Sigil works. But I think in general, just like Guiding Light is just a good card. And I agree with Warden here. Not, oh my god, you've been playing Warden. You've been playing Warden Black for like so long that for some reason I've just like associated your name as Warden.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just doing that. I don't know. I enjoy playing the deck. Simple. It's not complicated. And the Villainy nerf.
Like you planted your flag.
Villainy nerf didn't kill the deck, so I'm still running it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to keep running it until I either get bored of it, it gets nerfed to shit, or I don't know, I win a GP and make a fucking masterpiece Warden, and then I'll give up.
That's the spirit. That is actually the spirit. Okay, so
one of three things: it gets nerfed to shit, I win with it, or I get bored.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about sideboards a little bit there, and I want to hear like what you guys sideboarded in and why, and also out, obviously. But like, how did you guys sideboard, basically?
Put in I put in all the Seal the Tombs that I have on the board because I knew that, like I said, if I can duress and hit a key piece, I could exile all of it from the deck and be fine. And then I put in the Sorcerer's Spyglasses because if I name whatever summons the Oxes, I could stop him bouncing and replaying things because he wouldn't be able to activate the abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
That's really all I added in because that's all that helped me in my sideboard. The rest was more. And there's like kill planeswalkers. He doesn't run any of those. Kill small swarms of creatures. Doesn't run any of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you say that you were facing an infinite oxen. So
Oxen or 0-2. It wasn't the oxen that killed me. It was the overwhelming strength of a triad of brawlers.
Yeah, okay, but the brawlers got moral support from the oxen, so.
and protection from exit.
When I first made an infinite army of oxen, I expected him to just like use the remaining mana and drop something like all creatures get +1/+1, and then dogpile me with a bunch of cows.
It's just like incidental oxen. I just love that. Just incidental oxen. Can you imagine you're just standing there and then like
beautiful part of the combo.
Incidental oxen. That's a good thing.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. But like that should be like
cftsoc
that should be
instead
of just Enchantress, incidental oxen, the deck. Now come on.
That's a better name for it.
cftsoc, you've heard it there. That's your deck.
Mm-hmm. I'll be contacting Matt as we speak to immediately change it to that. No, okay.
Rada the deck name.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can you explain the Bard bringing in Bard, and not bringing in all 3 harsh unpreparedness?
I can't speak for him, but I feel like the plan was more so make sure I can't kill him with the. He didn't need the harsh unpreparedness because he killed me first. Is how I feel that was going.
Mm-hmm. But then I don't know why you bring in the Crossways Bard unless it's like a backup for RDs essentially. Like if RDs get steal.
He did win him the game because he needed it to draw the brawlers, didn't he?
I guess I thought. Oh yeah, I guess okay. I guess it deterministically draws instead of like RDs where it can get stuck behind lands.
Longer as in what? To turn 5 instead of turn 4.
Man, whew, really glad I prepared for this long game. Man, though I guess it is fair with a turn survivor running around. Yeah, turn 5 is long now. Watch out, y'all. Turn 2, y'all ain't safe anymore.
Yeah. It's total whiplash because the game I played earlier today, I managed to win off of Moonrises and Shadow Slums, and now I'm just getting killed turn 3 by a guy in One Punch Man.
Really? Okay, wait. What's the turn 2? See, is it the Dryad of the Grove plus one of your things? Play Elder's Wisdom, and then play Slafield, and then go on from there.
Yeah, I think that would.
Okay, that's dope. If I ever have to play you and you get the turn 2, I'm going to find you in real life and murder you. But that's really cool.
Damn.
Just always run an Exent and leave a black open just in case he draws.
Exent is just such a good card in this format, I think. I think Exent is one of those cards which just keeps the unfair decks honest, if that makes sense.
I don't know if it'll do anything versus Adrian, but
I mean, okay. If they try to go if they play turn 1 Adirian, then yeah, it sucks. And then play turn 2 Flame, and then another Adirian, then it sucks to be you. But if they play Devouring Flame turn 1, you can exit their Devouring Flame, and then they just have to be sad.
I played Devouring Flame turn 1 against the black deck. They deserved it, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And then also, it's a good countermeasure for Pip's Landfect deck.
Yeah.
I
have two ways. I like how it stops certain unfair decks, but I don't know. I feel like it kind of messes up other just fairer creature-based decks. Efficient, but I don't know. For now, I think it's pretty fine. I don't think it's unhealthy by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know. I think that Exent, I don't like how Exent affects the meta, but I think that because of how the rest of the meta is, I'm happy that Exant exists as kind of an answer to it. I guess that's my personal feeling on it.
I mean, it's pretty necessary just to deal with all the stuff running around in the format.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a very just cheap instance to be for interaction like that.
So it's not. It's also not a card that you can't protect yourself against. Like, stop from screwing you. As long as you build your deck right and have either backup plans, ways to recur the thing, etc.
Yeah, like versus what is it called? Versus Union Rail Strikebreaker decks, it really like just like it just eats shit hard, man. Like there's definitely like times when like you need single target removal.
No, absolutely. Like in that last game, even if I drew an Exhume, it's like, okay, an Oxen's dead. Anyways,
yeah, like we're actually talking about
targeted removal
and
definitely has its place.
I was just wondering, why were you not? Did you not add a Banish from Arrowroot?
They're not at what?
Banish. BANIH.
Because I feel like your deck is because it kind of like your deck has like removal, but like banish is like agnostic removal regardless of size, while everything else is either an edict or depends on size, like Lost Memories.
I feel like, yeah, honestly, I'm probably going to drop Just Business for Banish at this point.
Why would you keep Lost Memories then?
Banish.
I feel like
that's also true. I mainly kept Lost Memories because at the time, it's good against like faster decks that can gain me life and kill one of the threats at the same time, but it's really not that solid overall. So I'll probably drop something. Lost Memories, whatever.
Also, I guess
I feel like there's
while we're on this subject, I guess, Kai, did you have any more questions about the match itself? Or?
No, I was just going to ask about closing statements. If you have any more questions, then definitely shoot.
Well, what I was actually wondering is less about the match itself. Like just kind of for the two of you guys, we've definitely seen this GP we're really starting to see the impact of the two new sets, both Memoriam Arcanum and Heirloom. And I was just wondering, like, from those sets, what are the cards you're most excited about watching them, see how they affect the meta with them, stuff like that? I mean, cftsoc, it's pretty obvious, like, how it's affected you, because, like, how you build your entire deck. But, like, beyond that, what cards from, like, Heirloom Arcanum are you excited to see make a splash? Especially in this GP.
It can be stuff that's like already in this GP, or stuff that hasn't been played yet that you hope to see played in the future.
Yeah, just...
But honestly, I really don't know much about either of the sets. I haven't really paid attention to them. So, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I should probably take a closer look, I think is where it's really at for me. There's obviously a lot of interesting cards in there. There's a lot of powerful cards in there. But I've always, I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to them when they were coming into the format. I didn't really pay attention to them.
Review of Heirloom and our upcoming review of Memoriam Arcanum, both of which should be uploaded sometime this weekend.
Oh, no, wait, you guys did
a plug?
Yeah, me and PK2 did a 2.5 hour long set review of Heirloom, which I have to edit and put up sometime.
That sounds awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
Just put the entire video up. Don't even edit it.
Oh yeah, Witch of Shifting Waters. That's the card I'm most terrified of. Not because it's probably going to do anything good in this format, just because cftsoc has like scared me with that card enough times in Custom Standard.
Yeah, wait, so did you say you guys have done Memoriam Arcanum with you?
No, Memoriam Arcanum, we're planning on doing it this weekend.
Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see that one now that we've kind of seen Survivor have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like Arrowloop was kind of like a set that was okay. So they're very different sets because Arrowloop was like a set with a limited environment, while like I think Memoriam Arcanum is like, and with no offense to Hersey, I'm very sorry, it's still a good set, but it feels like almost like a worse story time in the sense of like it's a collection of thematically related cards. It just I don't think they're as well related as story time was. So each card is kind of like individually really strong or pushed or like intended to have like a specific interesting cute effect. Well, Heirloom was kind of just like
But
there were lots of
less
cards where we were
connect.
just like this is probably not going to be relevant, and then others where we were just like wow, there's a lot going on here.
Indeed.
Like I don't think we even discussed Tenacious Brawler, which like was probably like a miss on our part, but it goes to show like how much there I guess like there is under the hood with Heirloom. Well, I think like Memoriam is just kind of like here's everything that I have.
Here's just a bunch of stuff.
Exactly. I think I kind of appreciate that because I think, or like to an extent, I appreciate that because I feel like there's a decent number of MSE sets that I look at, or like MSEM sets that I look at, and I'm like, this feels like you made a bunch of pet designs first, and then made a set around it to justify it as a set. And I think that Memoriam Arcanum feels like that, except it's like very like upfront about like this is a lot of like cool pet designs, and I built it around like some flavor for like for the story I want to tell.
It does have it. I will say it does definitely. It has an interesting story.
Yeah, and like I think on like the story relevant cards, I think the story is told well. There are a bunch of cards where I'm like this just feels like it isn't connected, but lots of the cards are like that do tell a story. I think like I don't know, like I don't know like I've never like read the story behind Memoriam Arcanum, but I feel like just looking through the set I can grasp it, which that's a good sign when a set can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we kind of diverted there, but yeah, cftsoc is typing something, so I'm just gonna wait for that and then gonna ask for like I guess no, you're not really typing something. Oh, just more. Yeah, okay, yeah. Burgeoning Blooms was definitely like I felt like a Landstorm card, like it is in the perfect colors for Landstorm or something. But I'm wondering if there's like something crazier you can do with it.
Burgeoning.
Anyway, and Conjure Realities looks dummy. It's not. I think there's
Oh,
something
yeah,
getting
wait,
it in the
that's
GP, right? Let me check. I feel
yeah.
like
Wait, that's the bound one. Yeah, that's
oh
the
yeah,
bound
Scrawl
tutor.
is playing Scrawl is playing Conjure Realities. Oh, that's a tutor for fight. That's why they're only playing one copy of Finale of Cinders. Oh, oh, oh no, that's scary. And then they can conjure realities into like ramp if they need it. Oh, that's scary. Hold on, I don't like this at all. Okay, I missed that when I was looking through Scrawl's deck. But yeah, those are both like really dope cards, and like they're very much like I guess they kind of give you a direction, but not really. Like they're very like open-ended cards. Yeah, Contra Reality seems dumb as just like sure it has like a type restriction, but I think that type restriction will be mostly irrelevant, and it's basically like a free cast plus tutor. And Burgeoning Blooms I don't think is broken. I think it will go into like specific decks.
Wait, remind me.
Like you have to get up to like a bunch of mana first for Burgeoning Blooms to actually be good. But also I think X equals 2. 5 mana, draw 2, and then abound 2 times. Oh yeah, okay, I get oh yeah, I guess it would be 5 mana. Never mind. X equals 2 is pretty good. Never mind. Wait, never mind. I've been for some reason I've been thinking like okay, never mind. I've been reading this as like
Electrodominant.
like yeah, like you abound like so you cast spells with X or less. But okay, no, then you just that's insane. What? Just Divination plus cast 2 things that cost 5 or less from your hand for free? Okay. Huh.
Basically, you're getting 10 free mana plus an expensive divination.
Yeah, oh god. Disgusting. Take it away.
Yep. The seems quite scary now.
I can't wait for cftsoc to break both or one or both of these cards.
I feel like Burgeoning Blooms is a lot easier to break because if you can get any decent amount of mana fast, you can just drop huge things. But honestly, I don't know. Conjure Realities is also
I think
quite
Conjure
insane
Realities being like
in
having
terms
the
of just
totem
value.
effect, I think is what makes it more busted because like it just like it locks you to
Finds
colors.
whatever you need
Burgeoning
to have
Blooms
on it.
locks you to 3. Conjure Realities being able to just grab whatever you want from your deck rather than having to rely on hitting it off of the draw makes it better, I think. Or like more.
You can run them in the same deck.
Oh yeah, for sure. They can definitely go in the same deck, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, wait. Yeah, like, Conjure Realities, Burgeoning Bloom.
You just turn 4 Conjure Realities, turn 5 Burgeoning Blooms.
Oh no, you turn 3
Or
like
Burgeoning Blooms into Conjure Reality.
That's true.
That's a 10,000 IQ play. But yeah, Bound is definitely a nutty mechanic. Is the Leyline deck like the...
it's like we didn't learn anything from Cascade.
Yeah, so I guess now that I properly understand Burgeoning Blooms, definitely excited and terrified to see both of these cards come up in future GPs. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to talk about. So do you guys have any closing statements or stuff you want to say before we wrap this up?
Stop.
No, not really. Just Enchantments continues to screw me over, so nothing is really quite new.
That's what you should. I think just play Pip's deck from like last GP, man. That's definitely just Hunter's Hideout. Repeated
Splash screen for Hunter.
Destruction. Mm-hmm.
Just go all in on Artifact. I mean Enchantment hate.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, just 60 cards worth of destroying enchantments.
You're like, hold on, this no longer has Villainy in it. What's going on? Just somewhere along the way you lose Villainy.
Okay, the first sign of the apocalypse is me running a deck that doesn't contain Warden of the Dead at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, Enhance Armor is insane. Yeah, it does the same thing as Contra, and it makes all of your Oxen into win cons as well, so you don't need a creature.
Wait, what does?
The card that cftsoc just put in voice text chat. I love how that's cftsoc's closing statement. I should have played Enhance Armor over Contra World Magic. Thank you.
Even if it didn't have the Contra Magic, you should have played it just for the sake of being able to kill somebody with a swarm of Oxen.
Mm-hmm.
That's reward of it in of itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was nice talking to y'all, and good luck to both of you in your future GP rounds.